FINRA has just approved the corporate notice for MMTLP and short sellers are not happy about this. So should you buy the stock? Sit tight as we go through recent news as well as my chart analysis and price prediction. But before we do that, subscribe to our channel Stox 101 for regular stock market updates. In our last video, we discussed how FINRA seemed to be favoring sellers, purposely delaying the corporate action notice. But now that it's approved, all brokerages will receive the notice, forcing all short sellers to close their positions, and all investors will get shares equal to their current MMTLP position in NextBridge Hydrocarbons once the privatization is done. As for selling volumes, about 6 million FINRA shorts and 80 million TRCH shorts that merged into MMTLP will have to clear up their mess before 12th December. And in our opinion, the clock is ticking for the squeeze with only 2 days left for 9th December. With all that in mind, let's analyze the charts. So as you guys can see right here, we're now in the 1-day chart for MMTLP, and as always, we'll first analyze the 1-day chart, then the 1-hour chart, and to end it off, we'll get to the 5-minute chart. But right off the bat, we can see that we have some great news right here. Right, we're up at $10, up 21% on the pre-market. This is great, of course. Right, many of you must be happy right now. But of course, I personally believe that the stock can go much higher than the current price of $10. Right. Of course, we will see the stock go up today as well. I believe that we might get back to our $11.512 levels today, right? And after that, of course, we can, kind of hit the $15 range as well. I don't believe that will be today. I believe that will be tomorrow, right? And of course, after 9th December, that is when the real play begins, right? We've already discussed this before. 9th December is when the real play will begin. Now, to address a few points, right? First up, I've seen a few comments on my previous videos saying that, hey, this stock won't cross $15. If it will go to $100, why isn't everyone buying? Well, listen here, right? I already told you the reason why I believe that it can go to $100, and that is just my own opinion. First up, right? Second point, if you don't believe that the stock is good, just ignore it, right? Why are you spreading fear unless you're a short, right? That's my point. So I'm pretty sure that the people that were spreading those comments on my previous video were short sellers and people like that. But of course, we won't care about that, right? I don't really care about that. So anyways, we can see that yesterday we got a great volume, right? Compared to the average volume of 1 to 2 million shares, we got 5 million shares traded yesterday, which of course is another sign that, hey, the same question that we asked before, that if the stock is going to go up to $100, why isn't everyone buying? Well, it seems that everyone is buying now. So, well, that answers your question. Anyways, we can see that we're up to $10, right? We already discussed that. We were up 16% yesterday. So if we kind of account for that in total, of course, we can see that we fell down all the way to about $5.15. So that's a straight up 2x gain right there, right? Right now, we're up 95%. We will get a 2x gain today from that price. Of course, great news, right? So if let's say there's a guy named John and he put in like $100 over here, right, somewhere below the $6 range, he can get $200 today, right? That's a $100 profit in a single day, 100% profit. That's great. If we look at the long-term price action, we don't need to do that, of course, right? Because this is a short play, as all of you know. But at the same time, we can see that we're quite obviously bullish in a bearish market, which is a great sign. And Matt, on the other hand, right, we'll analyze this, as well while we're at it. We can see that we got a great movement yesterday, right? The stock went up by, I believe, 10 or 12%, something like that. And at the same time, we did get a huge gap up today. And, some people are selling, booking their profits. But if you ask me, once the entire MMTLP situation is over, I believe that people will most definitely pour their profits into a mat, and that will take the stock up. Most people are thinking that the stock can go up to $12, right? And I'm kind of, I wouldn't say unsure, but I guess a good way to say that would be that I agree with them that would go up to $12, but I don't think that's the upper limit, right? It can go up to $20, $25, that range as well. But anyways, our main target today is MMTLP. And of course, if you want to see what's going on in the pre-market, even though I believe that there probably wouldn't be any volume in the pre-market right now, right? But we'll still move on into the 1-hour chart and do all of the talking over there. And now that we're in the 1-hour chart, this is a much more clear picture of what exactly happened yesterday, right? We'll analyze 6th December's performance. Of course, we can see that we fell down by a crazy lot in the first candle itself, right? We fell down by pretty much 20% in the first candle, after which we fell down by another 10%, so a 30% fall, accompanied or rather followed up by a 54 or 55% climb. That's great, of course, right? After that, of course, we went up to $10 on the pre-market. So it was kind of justified, I would say. At the same time, we did get a pin bar on the upside, which got kind of discarded by these three red candles that we got, right? But at the same time, that pin bar did prove useful because, well, if you had, let's say, now this is how to plan a trade, right? How to plan a trade, Stocks 101 edition, right? Not financial advice, but if you had, let's say, bought the stock over here at 5.75 with a stop loss over here at the lower end of this at 10%, right? And probably target of, let's say, 20%, right? Then you could have scored that trade. At the same time, however, I would recommend that you use an indicator called the average true range to see how volatile the stock is. And in case of, MMTLP, I personally would put my stop loss 2 or 3% below the bottom line. So over here at 10%, right, I would rather go to 13%. So probably $5, right? $5 would be a good stop loss. And after that, I would kind of take my profit and at the same time, grow my profit from 20% to 26%, right? That's possible. It's a good trade setup, right? Well, we're down to $9.9 on the pre-market. We can see that right over here. So to analyze what exactly is going on in the pre-market, we'll move on into the most detailed chart that we have, which of course is the 5-minute chart. And now that we're in the 5-minute chart, of course, we can see the aftermarket and the pre-market performance over here. We did not do much in the aftermarket. We were pretty stagnant over here on the same price. But of course, we did fall from the $10 price to the $9.9 price on the pre-market. But of course, that does not concern me personally because that, it happens, right? Pullbacks are pretty common. But over here, this is the main thing that we want to see, right? Yes, we did fall off in a natural bearish trend, but at the same time, after going sideways for a long time, we got crazy buying volume. And this, if you ask me what happened over here, right, I personally believe that some person out there must have put a buy order for limit at this level, right? Whichever level this was. Let's see the exact level that we had over here. I believe it was 5.05 pretty much, 5.10 even, right? Someone must have placed a limit order, or maybe a lot of people must have placed a limit order over here. And of course, their order got executed. And of course, when it got executed, the stock went up, but at the same time, it went sideways after we got an inside candle over here, which was red, of course, right? But that kind of got discarded over here, right? We did end the day off followed or rather kind of predescend, what do you call it? I don't even remember the word. Never mind. We did get a pin bar candle on the lower side over here, but right now we're at $9.65. Is this a bad sign? Well, I personally don't think so, right? It's just a pullback in my eyes, right? I see this as some buyers probably were, are taking their profits and they're like, hey, we've already had enough. Let us go. We already have a volume of 200,000, out of which I believe a majority would be selling trades, right? Because of course, a lot of people would be booking their profits now that the stock is up by a significant amount. Now, what volume will we get? For that, we'll have to jump back into the 1-day chart, right? So we can see that we did get 5 million shares traded yesterday, and we're currently up at 250,000 shares. So I believe that we might, or well, 300,000 shares almost. So we might get an even greater volume than yesterday today, right? 325,000 shares, there we go, right? We'll probably achieve 4 or 5 million shares traded today as well, right? But at the same time, I'm not expecting, oh well, if we're down to $9, right? Is that something bad? If you ask me, well, sure, it might be, but not that much because, well, I already told you in my previous videos that the main dates are 8th and 9th December, right? This, even if the price goes down all the way back into this range, it might be a great opportunity for those of you who haven't entered the stock to enter it, right? Not financial advice, of course. I personally will always tell you guys that, you should always invest or rather trade these risky stocks with the money that you're affording to lose, with the money that you afford to lose, right? So of course, take, kind of keep that in mind and don't risk the important money that you've saved up for your rents or for your bills or stuff like that, right? Only invest and trade with the money that you're willing to lose. And again, on the 5 minute chart, nothing significant. Volumes 418,000, 421,000. That's great. Well, will we be able to get 500,000 volumes in a single 5 minute candle? Probably yes. That's great, right? Even though they were selling, volumes, it's still great considering the fact that the stock is really active. But the real part, the real activity will start on 9th December. So we will wait for that. But at the same time, remember that this most definitely is not financial advice and you should always do your own research before you trade. If however you enjoyed my analysis, be sure to hit the like button. If you did not enjoy it, be sure to hit the dislike button. You can subscribe to our channel Stocks 101 for more such videos. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one.